welcome, chat people, wonderful people. Oh, Christian Henny, Shite Poster, Trogue, Saint Trogue, Lodite, David Castro, Wolf King, hitting his Polish lady upstairs, Peter from the UK in the house, Rev, driving his van in Arkansas. We got to meet up, Rev. I was just thinking about you the other night. Jason Reed from Colorado, David Smith with a powerful message. Simon from Italy, Char from Germany, JC kicking that ace, BJ Fornash, good to see everybody. Lisa Smith from Kansas City, she's probably making a nice rack of ribs. Good to see everybody in the chat. Don't be vagaholic, control your sacks. If men understood, if we could all go back in time and control our biology, what life would we have won? Or how would our life have been different? I know for me, it would have been different in a lot of ways. So anyhow, the topic today, why the manosphere is shaming the red pill community. Ooh, there's been, when I started in this journey in 15, there was a handful of creators, let's just say 12 to 15 solid folks. It seemed like everybody had each other's back. It seemed like there was a message that transcended race, color, country, language, tall men, young men, skinny men, ugly men. And we all came together, at least it seemed like, to help educate us on how to live a better life, regardless of what we've been through, the rejection, the divorce, the marriage, the bamboozlement. Maybe some of us weren't able to attract ladies or whatever, but there seemed to be a consensus of, a camaraderie, a fellowship. And it seems, and a lot of people used to have MGTOW in their name. Shout out to Gone with John. Good to see you, brother. John is putting out some good content lately, and he's pressure washing. You guys want to learn how to pressure wash and learn how to make money, check out John's channel. Without the sex drive, I would have stayed single and focused on my life and goal. There you go. John is back to work. Yeah, I saw that huge property you did. I wonder how much you made on that, but it looked pretty good. Who is shaming us? A ham sandwich. There you go. Wes is back. Wes, we'll have to do a live stream together. Greetings, gent. Just got done playing 3 sets of tennis. I only have to focus on my own growth. There you go. So back then, 15, 16, there were people that had MGTOW in their name. There were people that were pushing this idea that you could have a wonderful life without this programming that a marriage would bring, or kids would bring, or a companionship would bring. We kind of dissected what in the reality relationships were and what became. I didn't have that information as a 19, 18, 17, 21-year-old. I had the information that I needed to find a mate and to get married and have kids and have a white picket fence and move forward and have grandkids and so forth, and die holding hands. I didn't understand that female nature is a real thing. So is male nature. But we have male brains, they have female brains. They are completely different. Those whose hearts yearn for thrilling adventure find their journey leading to pleasing the other gender nonstop. And that is what typically happens. Who is the gender that pleases the other gender nonstop? It's the man. The man wants to be the nice guy, wants to be chivalry, wants to be the white knight, and he puts the lady on a pedestal, and he'll walk over eggshells. He'll live a life of misery just to make her happy. We've all been there. Rev says, rad, nice intro song. Bad Religion. One of the OGs of the punk space. A lot of people didn't know Bad Religion until later. They had a couple hit singles in the early 90s. But they were big in the late 70s. Those guys have been around for a long time, and they've got some good red pill content. David Smith, I've always separated MGTOW from the manosphere. I don't condone pickup roaches. I'm not a trad cuck, and I believe they all just want us back on the plantation. Well, there's money to be made. And, another thing, when men go their own way, when a man decides that he wants to be the captain of his plane, that he wants to look at reality versus fantasy, and he wants to live in a reality that's true to him, a minimalistic way of living, peace, quiet, freedom, he realizes that he is a threat to men that don't believe that. So that's another thing. Towing men from the edge. I'm MGTOW Truckers, attaboy. Wolf, we got FJT in the chat. Good to see FJT. He's probably booking his next trip, most likely to Let's see, he's been to Egypt, Dominican. I don't know. Maybe he's going to the Eastern Bloc next time. Maybe Japan. FJT, go to Japan. See what it's like. Because Poon is like a drug addicting. Well said. Manosphere is just commercial now. They are trying to create a commercial identity by shaming and clickbait. MGTOW men are individual who are in it for the money, says Peter. Well said, brother. Good to have you back. Peter knows a thing or two about raising kids and being divorced and being married. And he's in the UK. I've been listening to Hammerhand a lot. The programming really aims to make a servant's living solo is great. We are a threat to people that are in the programming. Does that make sense? We threaten the matrix of programming. People that go their own way, that want peace, quiet, and freedom, are completely disrupting the narrative. That's why they don't like us. We threaten them. We threaten their thinking. We threaten how they feel. We threaten their desires because they're like, whoa, they know deep down that the relationship game is extremely risky. They just don't want to accept it. We do. That's the difference. I never understood how everybody knows when and how they're going to die, but I don't. My name is Mud. I don't know. I'll just take 1 minute at a time, brother. JC, the definition of stunning and brave, women working to age 80. It's a character building life path of finding oneself. There you go, brother. Relationships are about status. Once the endorphins wear off, we will get tossed aside fast. Well said, Wes. Mountain Monk in the house. Good to see you, brother. It's been a while since you've been on the chat, but good to have you. What men are shaming us? Well, I think there is a shaming that's happening, and it doesn't bother me. I could care less. It's just interesting. A lot of people calling people that, digest a red pill as wackos, incels, baldies, uglies, can't get ladies, and then they push you back to the plantation and relationships and marriages and things like that, buy their course on how to get ladies and so forth. The reality is the programming is set, right? Well, shout out to Slam Cave. Good to see you. Ladies, 98% of the time don't live in reality. I've always said 98% are not worth it. There's a 1% to 2%, but you must vet them as well. And they also have a female brain. 100% of women have female brains. Good to see the legendary John Boston. He knows a thing or two. Good to see you, John, playing his bass. Delete all the distractions from your phone and create your own private school on it. Today's my 37-day streak. I'm working on myself. My future is brighter. Attaboy. Jason Reed says, strong men are a threat to the blue pill world. And that's basically what it is. It's like people that leave a certain religion or a religion and they meet somebody of that same religion in the grocery store, and that religious person kind of walks the other way. Because that non-religious person that left their religion or their church now feels that they are a threat. And so they walk away. The biggest lie they use is that MGTOW, hate women. Obviously, the sheep haters pile in on this lie and they will get clicks and business. That's another thing. Well said, Peter. They do believe that we hate women. I love women. I've got great sisters. I've got great people. I just understand them. At one point, I didn't understand. I thought I did. Not to mention all the great men. Ari Ellis, Alexander, Patton, all had vision and purpose, not dreaming of marriage. Good comment, brother. Mountain Monk, better off alone. There's a lot of things. Most men in relationships, they are alone. They just don't get it, or they don't accept it. Mouth of Gabe, good to see you. He's riding his motorcycle, making some stones, some shekels. Good to see you in the chat. The White Knights, like David Michael Knowles and Walls, try to shame men. Yeah, that's another thing. They don't like it. They believe, listen, at the end of the day, the marriage rate, the childbirth rate is so low, we will exist exist as a country. Everybody understands that falling birth rates are a threat to civilization across the board. Countries. Japan, where's Japan going to be in 2 decades? Paul Smecker's back. Good to see you, brother. Hope you are well. I'm just listening in. Getting his hands dirty butchering rabbits. Used to eat a lot of rabbit in Venezuela. Very tasty food. It's a nice lean white meat. Hang in there. Glad you are here and hope all is well with you, brother. Like leaving the Jehovah. Yeah, I mean, all religion is, you can be spiritual, but religion also has its own tribes. If it brings you peace, quiet, and freedom, great. The shaming comes from low status men displaying their ability to sleep around as their biggest accomplishment. Yeah, well said, Wes. People saying, there's another thing. There are creators out here that I like, but they're buying poon where other men has bought poon. I don't know. I find that very controversial in my world. Rad, I was playing my bass. A friend of mine is gigging tonight, and maybe playing some songs with them. I usually sing some songs or help them back up. Well, get a video. I want to check it out, brother. Played the guitar last night. I played 6 or 7 songs. Ladies can never be red pilled. I hear you, Slam. Harshit from India's back. Old videos, please. Working on that, man. Working on it. Stay tuned. I'm now indifferent to women, and that's a great way to be. If all men understood that majority of women are just 5-year-olds with breasts, they would think differently. They wouldn't fight with them. They wouldn't argue. They wouldn't try to, what's the word? Impress them. Why? Manage Roy from Mumbai is back. Megatron is in the house. Good to see you, brother. Truth is, when we get biatches, if we want to, but we know the game well and choose freedom. That's all it is. Do you want to have peace, quiet, and freedom? Choose a life that doesn't put a woman on a pedestal. When you go your own way, your future's so bright, you got to wear shades. He's busting out some 80s Corey Hart there. Rev, good to see you, brother. Rev knows a thing or two about being on his own. David Smith says, I'll remain cordial. But there's nothing wrong with being cordial. Being a good guy is not bad. Being the nice guy, a nice guy is trying to get to impress women, to get validation from others. A good guy says, you know what, this lady has got 2 kids in her arms. Maybe she's a single mom. She can't open the door. You open the door. You don't do it for validation. Now, some people will walk away from all of that because women have put themselves in that situation. And I understand that as well. I have a Roland D50 from the 90s, got all the software and cables to flash it with so many patches. Now I'm wanting to get me a new Roland. Once you start getting amps and guitars, man, it's a rabbit hole. There's so many different options. Best way to fix any relationship or marriage is to go and ask God. The Lord is always there to help. I think our society is without God, and that has caused a massive amount of pain and suffering in this world. God is the cell phone now. God is validation from others. Peter says the manosphere is now absorbed into the MSM and toxic feminism. Even Rollo Tomasi is part of the matrix. I agree. I think most men get to a point in their life when they throw everything away, including you, to start their new. They have a breakdown when they realize they are the problem, just wacko. Hey, you, well said. Well said. Absolutely. Good to have you. I used to think that the worst thing in life was to end up alone. It's not. The worst thing in life is to end up with people who make you feel alone. Robin Williams, rest in peace. Well said, Trog. Manu says, I have a story to share. I need your opinion. Go ahead and share it. Your narcissist ex is like a horror movie, like a smile movie. Well, most women, again, you never take an ex back. You let him go. Why are women invading the red pill? Validation. Some people might, some women think they understand, but they don't. They don't have a male brain. The red pill is about truth, yet the red pill community still thinks you can still have relationships with modern women, which contradicts the current facts. Well said. I'll have to check that link out after the show, John. Will do. Abusive and controlling with that like button. As Hammer says, that any of them above a 6 have 50 bodies of them, so where is the glory in being 51? True. Shannon Rice Lewis video says, Peace Leave, the most dangerous drug on the planet, Breaking Bad fan theory. He did it for his wife. My whole channel has always been about to help men stay out of treacherous situations, which is the marriage, cohabitation, and children, which I've been through. I don't wish it on my worst enemy. Wolf King, that's funny. It's just, how can we have peace, quiet, and freedom and live a minimalistic life and enjoy life? They are getting more irrelevant. I think Tate at one time, wasn't he a little MGTOW at one point? The military needs good, strong men. Visit your local armed forces and speak with a recruiter today. We lack a lot of strong men. Work for you. I got my BMW. I feel great. No kids, rad. Good for you, Christian. I looked at some charts with the TV stations from lib to conservapop. I went and watched the libs, and the lies and the man hating is, yeah. And men even hate men. These liberal men hate men. Jason says these guys at the Manosphere trying to shame men always come from a place of men need to step up instead of looking at the problems women today bring into the relationship. I think a lot of these guys are in relationships and they're miserable, and they want you to be miserable because you disrupt the narrative. Firearms, archery, fishing, motorcycles, knives. I have plenty of hobbies. Attaboy. You do have a nice bike too, brother. I always remember the Manosphere having a hidden agenda against us red pillars. Yeah, I mean, look, we take away the narrative. That's what we're doing. We're not playing the game. Thoughts on the black pill? Fred, don't know much about the black pill, but whatever brings you peace, quiet, and freedom. After being led on by my coworker, I see that even if she checks multiple boxes, she's still goofy and delusional in nature. She a goofy. If Lionel Richie had published All Night Long today, he would have sung Let the International Baloney Take Control. Sure, all those songs. Even a lot of metal songs like Motley Crue and a lot of bands I like put the woman on the pedestal. Riggs Jr.'s in the house. Good to see you. Don't chase these chicks or brides. Well, when you chase a woman, you chase away your dreams. You chase away your purpose. You chase away your peace, quiet, and freedom. The Manosphere is now just entertainment, not educating. That's why it's commercial to absorb women into the Manosphere and shame MGTOW to get female clicks. Well said, Peter. Well said. Joseph Hoffman is in the chat. Good to see you. Father Saunders went live last night. I missed it. You went too late because I think I hit the sleep button, brother, at 11 my time. But if you ever need a fun channel to check out on a weekend or a weeknight, Father Saunders never ceases to disappoint. I also think there's some jealousy coming from the Manosphere. They are mad that they aren't content going our own way, and they don't have the same conviction. I would agree. We disrupt they know all the stuff that they do, putting a woman on a pedestal, doing this, doing that, getting in a relationship. They're still chasing it. They're still not chasing their own dreams. They're still trying to make happen. You can't hold frame, right? Okay, Kristen, good to know. A woman killed her 20-day-old kid. She went to jail for 10 years. Now in front of Saints, she is admitting her crime on TV. She said that she had a mental. There's a lot of those out here, Manager Roy. Hammerhand once asked a great question. How many of your exes truly loved you? Well, that is a very good question. Women love differently. I don't even know if they even love what men are. They love what men provide. Joseph, been doing good. Good to have you, brother. Polska's in the house. He's delivering. Well, he's not delivering. A burger with jalapeno and all the toppings, some fries, and Miller Lite, Bob. There you go. I'll give you a good. Bob and Ike have been streaming at night on their gaming. I have been to city council meetings. This world is moving in far left socialism, and it's coming from the Democrat socialist groups doing the funding. The laws are stacked against us, men. And that is another reason to stay away. The laws are stacked against you. James is in the house. Good to see you. Father streaming, had a good time. He's in his lazy boy, guys. You see Father in a wonderful, he brings up some good stuff, you know. We want to pitch all of our channels. We want everybody to know that everyone has a voice. And if you don't have a channel, make one. Kildare blank, no, the saint is favoring that woman. The mental reason you blank your 20-day-old kid. Well, this happened a lot in the United States. Women just don't want the responsibility. They don't want to be seen as a single mother. There's a bunch of reasons. Mental illness being that. Motley Crue, Too Fast for Love. Read the lyrics. Living on a jet, making love to someone else. She puts her legs up. We'll call it good. Yeah. Or without you in my life. Manadroid says 20 years back, why are you okay now? Right. They're not. Again, the laws are stacked against men and they're stacked in favor of the ladies. And I think that happens in most of these countries, except maybe Islamic countries. I dated the good, the bad, and the ugly, and they were all nuts. What a waste of time. It was all drama. I think that would be a wonderful bumper sticker. Hey, you. Rich is in the house. Good to see you. I don't know about that one, brother Christian. Women love money in themselves. They do love what money provides. It provides attention, validation. It provides a warm fuzzy. All right, I'm not going to go. I'm a chill. All right, brother. You need to sober up with some Gatorade. There you go. Brandon Carter says money has no value in this dang age. Best thing that you can do, that the wealthiest man in this world is a man that has peace, quiet, and freedom. However that happens. They love the thought of making us into what they want us to be. How many women have you heard say he's got potential? Well said, David. Peter says, wait for her to get to court and say she was abused by a man. No accountability expected of women, even for blank. Well said, brother. It's a different world we live in. In the end, she is a woman, Joseph. In the end, she is a woman. JC says, on average, the greatest mental health risk and financial risk a man can take on life is marriage. Numbers don't lie. Absolutely. I notice ladies are on a cock safari now. Be careful, guys. Cock carousel, salami subway. Now we got the cock safari. Positive energy is the key to success. Don't listen to the ones that try to let you down. Tell them, hey, yeah, you're right. And then go back to your business. Yeah, let them, they're right in their own reality. They live in a reality that for us, we don't believe is real. We believe it's fantasy. After my ex walked away for her drug addiction, I could never see them as innocent enough to heal my son when kids ask him where mom is. Slam cave. Definitely going to be challenging, brother, but you're doing the right thing, raising him strong. We need to stay hydrated. We sure do. Female hypergamy, Duluth model, as Saint talks about. You're guilty the moment you marry her, the moment you get engaged. Gay Tarad, those plastics are no bueno, says James. One Mighty and Strong is back, says the sole purpose of females to live the easiest life possible off of the labor and resources of men. Females do not love men, they love the continual labor of men. I think the majority of 98 to 99% of women are definitely in that category. Men get with women hoping they don't change women, get with men to change them. Well said. Well said, Mountain Monk. Everybody sends Saunders Rogaine. I tried Rogaine at one point, it doesn't work. There is no love in chaos, says Wolf. Complacency, guys. Complacency is chaos. Familiarity is complacency. Familiarity is chaos. Let that sink in. That is unfortunate, Manoj. She needs to be taken off the television. She's getting attention. 56% of white lib women have been diagnosed with a mental disorder, including the undiagnosed. I'm thinking it's close. That's what I was going to say. Only 56%? I would say 98%. No Gatorade for Flanders. Tell them to grab a Rip It from the dollar store. Cock Coliseum, says Riggs. All right, guys, I got to go. I'll be on a Chaos Extreme later. All right, Polska. I heard rumors on Prawn Star Reed is back on business. Probably. Boy, can you imagine an industry that these women go into and they try to get out of it and they're blackballed forever? I feel for your son, sir. I grew up with a drug addict mom and it really did F me up mentally. Yeah, that's challenging, guys. But we have a community here helping each other. She's not yours. It's just your turn. Number one tenet right there. Write down every day when you wake up what's lacking in your life. It'll motivate you to change gradually. Yeah. And you know what? Go slow. You don't have to change all at once. Lose 1 pound a week. There you go. Rad, have you had women from high school reach out to you and tell you that the one that got away, I had that happen and I felt bad for her husband? I did meet up with a gal a few years back from my school and she's like, I wish we would have known each other in high school. I was once hunted by a horny lady. We called her Jumanji on the Cox Safari hunt. There you go. I live in Massachusetts, and unless a woman is a registered Repub, I won't talk to her. Even some of the Republicans are whacked. I watch every video on yours. Keep up the good work and never quit advice, men. It's the absolute truth. Well, thank you, says Darius. Good to have you, Darius. I can't remember where you're from, but appreciate you being here. Women need to be saved from their own proclivities. Pandora's box has been opened by feminism. Yeah, the narrative and the programming is already set in stone. And the guys that push the narrative that we are not good people or something like that, or that we're whacked and we're the red pill guys are just crazy. It's because they want to live in this narrative that they can't get out of. This wrongdoing nonsense from women are given a purported, supported by a religious supporter. Interesting. If a man stands with honor and strength, then women will follow our example. Well, unfortunately, that's been tossed out the window. Get free. The programming is already too deep. Great comment. We need to become better. We sure do. Manosphere full of muscle men, macho men who are huge simps. It's pathetic. They pose. They're pussy chasers. Well said, brother. And religious readers, man, is right. They're no different. They're definitely blue pillars. What is a woman really capable of loving? Herself. I don't think she loves herself. How the dating life is today, it's a shit show. Indian religious leaders are supporting feminism. Of course. Everyone just jump in line, just get in line, don't ask questions. Marriage is sleeping next to a stranger, you just don't know it. Oh, is that not the truth? Found out who my wife was after 19 years and 3 kids. Get free, brother. I understand where you're coming, but it's too late for that. I hope you can see that one day. It's the programming. It's really is. Showing my son the double standards before he hits puberty. My dad only meant the need for my mom. Keep doing what you're doing, brother. Males are devalued from birth and females are elevated from birth. Circumcision is mutilation regardless of religion, yet baby girls are not mutilated after birth. Burdens are placed on boys. Isn't that interesting, One Mighty and Strong? Great comment. I talk to my daughters all the time about the leftist programming and feminism and point out the feminists they know who are all cat ladies. It'd be interesting making a movie for young ladies in 16 to 18 range and showing them what cat ladies are and how they progress to become cat ladies and Karens. Ben and Jerry's. Well said, Christian. I don't hate women. I don't hate sharks and alligators. I just choose not to swim. Oh, isn't that a great comment? We don't hate them. We just understand. Don't swim in shark-infested waters. That's what you're going to do if you get married. If you live with a woman. If you give them, if you think your little 4-prong chemicals in your tummy that you're feeling this love is real, right? Wolf says, geeking out, just bought me a Megatron, his tank, G.I. Joe Transformer. Attaboy. Feminists everywhere. Feminists everywhere. Hag to hag. Hag to hag, says Christian. Ian, I think that's Ian. There used to be a huge blank Skittles nightclub in Rotterdam. It was called the Manosphere. That explains a lot. Oh, geez. Crazy, yo. Being on medication means that you can see behind her, or being on the red pill means that you can see behind her fake facade. Yesterday, I met a good-looking girl at the grocery. She was full of herself. That my interest left the building. Yeah. Yep. How did I celebrate my 50th birthday? I climbed 18. I went up to the highest peak, or the second highest peak in Utah, almost 12,000 feet. 8.5 miles up, 8.5 miles down. That's how I did it. You got to do something great on your 50th, your 40th, your 30th, and so forth. You always know who your wife is during the divorce. Oh, you sure do. Saw a clip of Dollar General and how they use unfair trade practices. This woman saying how she got a kitty litter and it was a different price at the counter. Cat lady. Today, women love the fantasy world. If they feel it, then they must be true. Listen, women love the fantasy because it stirs up emotions and feelings in them. Women are emotional. Men are logical. We understand that buying things over and over does not bring happiness. It's a fantasy. It's not reality. Ladies have a different way of thinking. We have to respect that. And, well, I don't know if we respect it. We just accept it. And we don't choose to swim in it. 2 genders. That's right, Slam. You teach your boy that. I have 2 daughters. Both are married to pretty much their first boyfriend. Never let them act or dress slutty in their teens. They hated me. Later, they thanked me for putting my foot down. Attaboy, Trog. My sister married her first boyfriend that she ever kissed. They have 5 kids. Revs met them at Easter, and she is one of the 1% to 2%. But she's still a woman. She still gets, hormonally whacked, but, she loves her husband. She loves her family. She loves being a stay-at-home housewife. Yeah, thanks, Joseph. That was a fun time. No marriage, no cohab, no long-term in today's world. If you slip your position or money, get ready for divorce papers served by your wife. Well said. My youngest called and wants to come back over and hang out. There you go. There you go, Father. Good men are always shamed, but the kids see it sooner or later and they come back. Getting married today is worth it is not worth it. Shitty litter, says Rev. Red pill equals understanding real reality. Yes. My 40th, I want to be sitting in my rocking chair on my porch in my old off-the-grid property enjoying silence. Yeah. Edible cat litter could be a future. But you know what? Guys, if you want to market and make a lot of money, market to cat ladies. Market to women that are delusional. Market to women in general. Do you remember a film with Julia Roberts called Sleeping with an Enemy? Perfect description of a marriage today. Well said, brother. Rich. Sam Fisher is back. Good to see you. Sam's been around. Biggest lie I ever told to men is that their endless servitude and toil for females will merit a female's love. The servitude of females by male results in the continual of men to female walk away. My ex used to say, if you do chores, it's basically, it turns me on. No, it doesn't. It makes you dried out. Help your kids as much as possible. I'm doing that with my boys. I know some middle school girls who bullied me. Now they got kids. Now, once a woman has kids, life's different. Rev says, yeah, Rad's sister has a nice family, beautiful home, good times. We had a fun time, didn't we? It was a good weekend. I sold the couch, by the way, Rev, the green couch, because I'm getting ready to get out. Has your replacement got a lost blank stare of cohab reality yet, Rad? Yeah, that's funny. Probably. He's a total simp Skittles supporter. When your kids at middle school gets poor by having kids, happy life, happy wife, hag to hag rag. Women raise children, men raise adults. God bless. And men that raise kids in structure are now considered abusive to the kids. No marriage, no peace. Well said. No marriage, no peace. Well said, Matt Monk. I like that. My ex did the whole divorce child custody nonsense, and now she regrets it. She has tons of credit card and never had a balance when we were married. We did not have credit card debt either. I would not allow it. We paid it off every month. We used it for miles. No marriage, no peace. Well said. I like that. That'd be a great bumper sticker. Some of the greatest men that ever lived were single. From Romania. That's right. My best friend, he doesn't make sex with his wife since 18 months and never kissed. They're like strangers. Jeez. He probably thinks the nicer he is, Darius, that someday he'll get it, which is not true. People often ask me, what are you doing with your life? Why don't you get engaged? I simply reply, my goal is to become the very best at translating. Good for you. He's translating. Simone lives in Italy, so he speaks Italian and other languages. My friend who is married told me to pamper my girlfriend. That is, I don't know if that friend knows. I don't know how old that friend is, but I would disagree with that. The more you pamper her, the more she rejects you. Tesla wanted to marry a pigeon. He knew the score. Yeah, he died when they shamed him too. Called him a wacky incel, crazy. Is it possible for a man to be turned off and dislike a truly good woman, one who is submissive? Manasseh, a man that's gone through what we sure. They see through it, yeah. No matter, and that's a strong man right there that can see through the beauty and sexiness of a woman like that. David Smith asking the question of the century, why should your happiness depend on someone else's? Well said. Gerald Montagna's back. Hey, Rad, on Monday I'm meeting with a lead vocal guitarist for the first time to start a duo. We're working. Awesome for you. Attaboy. Maybe you get John Boston in there and play bass. There's a couple. I used to talk to some friends. I had a really good friend. I try to get in touch with them, but I've not been able to for over 20 years. Men must labor for their value as men. Females are given value and elevated by men simply because females exist. Men are responsible for allowing the parasite to rule over them. We've allowed it. Men have allowed this, guys. Let's not blame the women. Let's blame us. Bookshelf Learn is in the chat. Good to see you. You can bust your ass for a woman, 0 credit for it the next day. If she needs a kidney, you give her a kidney. She's very grateful in that moment, but the next day she's bringing up crap you did to her before that happened. Steven from Arizona is back. Good to see you, brother. Telling people I never get married, again, always gets a program response. Don't say that. There's somebody out there for everybody. Even if you entertain the lady, stay on your path, and if they follow your path for a bit, cool. If she takes off, cool, but stay. That's the thing, guys. Just be indifferent. You know, there are men in this chat that still hang out with ladies, but they don't believe in marriage, cohabitation, any of that love crap. There are certain circumstances where there are decent women that have their own money, resources. You come together, watch a movie, have a nice dinner, throw down and leave. They have their friends, you have your friends, you do your thing, and it's fine. But when you put a woman on a pedestal, that's a different thing. And I'm not advocating that. I'm just saying there are people that have figured this out that still live, and people in this chat, and I know personally. And there's also, we love our monk brothers. We love the guys that are just like, we're done with that crap. Women love a man for what they can do, never the man. Well said, Mountain Monk. What's the reason behind it? I'm saying the girl follows your lead, and no one is perfect, but if she is, she will lose you. She is, if you will be one of the 1 to 2%. Yeah, I agree with that, NASA. Mark Gonzalez Wolf is him and Nadas, best street skaters ever. I've always said that the blue pill white knight simp is our biggest enemy. Feminism is something they allow and tout. Well said, David. You give away your kidneys, and the next day she's angry. Both manosphere and red pill are umbrellas that mean different things to different men. It ranges from P-way to monk and everything in between. Yeah. I think at the end of the day, whatever brings you peace, quiet, and freedom. Maybe there's some men in relationships that have peace, quiet, and freedom. I highly doubt it. Maybe there's some men that have peace, quiet, and freedom by being a monk or living flexible and mobile and maybe entertaining a woman every now and again. Whatever brings you peace, quiet, and freedom, and you become and are the captain of your plane is all we're talking about. Almost got divorced. I was seeing someone else. We have a 9-year-old daughter. We are both Christian. Joseph Hoffman. Well, hopefully it works out, brother. The minute you follow her like a puppy dog thirsty for poon, they go ooh and pull away. They don't like thirst. They don't like thirst. I've never been married. Having a wife and family will make me look more respectable to my friends. Well, that's programming, right? Talking about submissive men, I know a few. That's why I love being alone. They won't change my nature. Well said, Simone. Men's Daily's back. Good to see you, brother. Check out his channel. He's got some good stuff. He's growing. My Polish lady asked me if I loved her. Why do they ask that? Well, the more that you lay with a lady, the more their emotions get entangled in you. So I can see that being that. CJ says relationships are Skittles. They're definitely challenging. That's for sure. Let's see. We came back together, and I find it difficult to be attracted to her. Well, you probably had challenges in those days. People ask me all the time, Rab, would you get back with your ex? Hell no. She's not attractive. She was the most beautiful woman in the world when I met her. Now today, the most ugliest. The male blue, she's very attractive still at her age, but she's ugly to me. The male blue pill simps say to me, no want or never say never. These people believe gravity goes up. Well said, Peter. Couldn't have said it better. The world was built by men for women. Most of the actions of men are directly or indirectly related to coddling and serving them. Yet men still are chasing the illusion of women. Once you chase a woman, you chase yourself away. It's as simple as that. If that's the way you think, then I'm sorry, you'll have to go through the shit in order to learn to get free. Well, get free, you just got to understand where we're coming from. You haven't experienced what we have been. So I understand that there's some innocence in that regards. JC, at what age will you retire this year? Your ex or your ex is the main antagonist from the horror movie Smile. I did see that movie. She left and took our child. She came back. Now she is chasing me for SEX. I want to have a son. Be careful, brother. Be careful. Rad, do you take long breaks from hiking and biking too much? Yes. I try. I used to ride a lot, and then I got, yeah, you do need breaks. I try to ride 2 to 3 days a week. If I ride every day, I'll burn out. Life is a confusing journey. It sure is. If single men are so dangerous, why are they letting so many in over the border illegally? You'd have to ask Potato Joe that question. Love is weakness. Well, the migrants are going to be coming in, and they want a better life. And Latin people are wonderful people. If they want to come here legally. Do it right. Be a producer. Be a contributor. They're going to have the most kids. Our nation will be a Spanish-speaking nation within probably 15 years. Love is weakness, says Mountain Monk. Love is a fantasy. Lisa says, Rad, I'm learning a lot today. Appreciate you being here. Never accept a slingback. You know the MGTOW, Red Pill Truth, the thirst quencher. Yeah, basically, it's all it is a philosophy that says, do you want to be happy, have peace, quiet, and freedom? Any man that says they don't want that, well, here's how you do it. Don't get married in today's modern day. Don't cohabitate. Don't believe in the chemicals you attribute. You know, if you like someone, live a life separate. Have your own life. Do what you need to do. I'm not anti-marriage. I don't recommend it. I'm not anti-cohabitation. I don't recommend it. It's too risky. I would never do it. Where in Italy are you? My family is in Sulmona. Where is Simone? I want some more kids. I'll accept whatever comes. You know what? And if you are fine with that, then good for you. It's better to have the same biology with the same woman. Hopefully you can make it work. Was your first lay good, rad, or stupid? Mine was kind of bad. Well, the first one was, you know, you basically put the tip in and it blew wad very quick. So, you know, it happened fast. I try to view everything in life from a primitive viewpoint. I believe humans are meant to be naked hunters roaming the wilderness. So how does diet and relationships fit into that, says Stephen. Well said, brother. Jeremiah Johnson. Joseph, thank you, Rad. And just protect yourself. That's all I'm saying. What's so strange about me is my song alarm in the morning. Thank you, Rad, for introducing us to good music. You mentioned Bad Religion at the start. Their older songs are now turning into reality. Good. I was going to play some Typo Negative, but I thought that the Infected song was perfect for this topic. Most ladies run from me when they see my son come first. I won't save them. Well said, Slam. Because you're saving you and your son. After you go mobile, do you still plan on keeping? Yes, Jason Reed. I'll just change the background. I'm hard at work on my DNA, mostly Sicily. My grandmother said her mother's family was from Genoa, but no matches to confirm that. Married men are seen more as reliable for potential employers. Well, that's, yeah, still programming, still narrative. Absolutely. The way the Matrix neutralizes men is to say they aren't real men. Walk away. Absolutely, Peter. I was in a store and they were announcing they were closing at 9 p.m. in Spanish and they said it in English. I'd like to live in Italy. Northern liked it when we stopped by in the Navy. I would love to go to Italy. Get one of those Vespas and drink wine, you know, wine out of the wine. They have water fountains that were full of wine, right, Simone? That's the one double standard I hate the most. They expect you to care for their bastards, but they aren't willing to love the children of single fathers. Isn't that interesting, David? Timothy Sokol is back. Morning to you in California. Good to have you. My neighbor growing up was from Sicily. Interesting. Got a lot of Italians in the chat. Well, John Boston and Gerald Montagna and Simone Carlo Magno, right? Magno. All Italian names. Infected is a great song. I just got 2 processed and in the pot. Ooh, what you making with it? You can put some carrots in there, peas and carrots. 98% of women are possessed more than men. Catholic exorcist. Isn't that interesting? Why are women the ones that always are the ones to be free of the demons, right? Why get scared of demons when your ex or your ex is doing devil's work? Yeah. Sleeping with the enemy. Whoever, I can't remember who brought that up. Another Italian here. I spent 5 years working in Italy and Sicily. Wow. I mean, I don't know. There's just something cool about the culture. I remember watching the movie The Talented Mr. Ripley, and I thought, in the 50s, I thought that would be fun to be in Italy. Marriage is way too risky in the Western matrix. It's sad that even million and billionaires still don't get it, even after they got hit for child support, alimony, and false alligators. They repeat the cycle. Isn't that sad, Men's Daily? I have been to Italy several times. Beautiful, but they are dealing with massive migration issues and a poor economy. Like France, men refuse to accept the reality of females. Men actually believe their happiness can be found in females who have no care or remorse for men. Females love male servitude, not men themselves. Ooh, well said, brother. I got another device to try that you sent. I got some apps on that Google device and got all the Italian stations. Aquanet hairspray and glamour shots in the mall from the 80s. Taters, carrots, onion, and cabbage. Sounds like a wonderful stew. Paul, they are more emotional, hence they are more susceptible to demonic influence. Succubus, says David. Heavy metal dancer with Slayer blasting, nuns nervously walking around the floor. Italy is a great place. Fabulous language. Too bad it's run by idiots. Call Pearl whatever, but she was right while debating Knowles. It's disappointed to see how conservatives like Ben, Matt, and Knowles cannot see the simple facts of the table. They are succubus. Well, here's the deal. Cheating and divorce are promoted nowadays. Yeah, yeah, sure. Here's the deal. These guys are smart conservatives, but they're not smart. They want to go back to the 50s. Because family culture is a strong culture. They're seeing the debauchery of that right now, right? It was great before the internet. Absolutely, Lisa. It does sound like a great stew. So they want to go back to the 50s. It's not going back. The programming is too deep. It's not going back to a traditional housewife program. Now, I'm sure there's some women that have gone the sloot culture that are back, but still programmed. Again, clearance bin. And so they believe that strong countries, especially America, would need a strong family structure, which they're not wrong. But pushing men into a very bad agreement today is not prudent, right? Anything short of buying and selling them, count me out, walk away. Timothy Soko, I'd love to see some different foreigners other than Hondurans, Mexicans, and South Americans. Yeah. Slayer, south of heaven. I think inflation, high cost of rents and homes are going to make people think twice before running to attorneys to solve their problems. Could be. Could be. Truth is, I've noticed it's truly a spirit that dominates modern women now. Something about that black screen on your phone, that black mirror. Italy, great back in the days, 70s and 80s. David Smith has got his fingers up. Israel's mandatory military service. You know what? Some of the most beautiful women in military are Israeli military women. Also, they are multimillionaire and relatively good looking and healthy. Most men are not like that, and they are average Joe, and these conservatives are basically asking them to blank themselves. Well said, Betty. Divorce and welfare is now incentivized and an industry ripe of exploitation. Well said, Peter. Guys, you want to stay out of pain? Don't get married. Don't have kids. Trust me. You don't want to go through it. I thought I had an amazing unicorn, religious woman, love, didn't have kids, educated. No. Programming from others, programming from the internet, programming from media. You are underwater, and you always be. Merloni is kind of sexy for an Italian MILF. How can men win when she has 20 simps on her phone? Well, again, they have a lot of men on their phones. Right? Now, you can find a 1% to 2% that maybe you could marry, but the odds are very slim. Rainy day in SoCal, huh? I was in the Army, did basic training with women. It could have been better. Joseph Hoffman. Thank you for your service. Rad, it's all a good show on Israel women. They're beautiful women, that's for sure. The trad wife only existed from the 40s to the 60s. Prior, women worked their asses off on the farm. Post WW2 created a boom, which allowed housewives, and since the 70s, that's gone away. So I was watching something, Stephen. I talked about the TV dinner was what did it in for traditional women. They didn't have to cook anymore. Rad, what do you like to do on a rainy, shitty day? Usually work out. If I can't be outside, I like to be outside. You are nothing to their phone. Yeah. Sometimes I like to go to a sports bar, watch a show. Great. Or watch a game. Get free, men. Get free. Men have been dying for females since the beginning of time. We don't need more men in the military dying to maintain a world that serves females. One mighty and strong. Yeah. That's all right. Paul Smecker says, what we got? There's no way I could have processed those 2 rabbits and cut veggies, seasoned the dish, and cleaned up that wife if my wife was still here. Drama and trauma. Drama and trauma. Divorces, welfare illegals are preferred and encouraged. No wonder most men are leaving and will not defend the nation. It is attack. Why? To save someone who's been deleting you slowly? Yeah. Men are just waking up saying it's not worth it. Right? It will make you think for yourself, Timothy. Well said, brother. Michael Knowles likes to thump the Bible. Why doesn't he know the apostle? I can't stand Knowles. I'm not a fan of him. I don't like how he talks. Has he been through what I've been through? No. Too short. You know the hoe. I know someone that likes Too Short. No guarantee that 1 to 2% won't change. And say, yeah, David Smith. I've always said that. 98% are not recommended, and the 1 to 2% still need to be vetted, and they still have a female brain, and they can change at any time. Well said. Basic training was better segregated. Living with about 50 women in one base sucked. Yeah, Lisa Smith served in the military. Thank you for your service, Lisa. I've been searching for a pot of gold at the end of a rainbow. Haven't found it yet, but I'll probably keep looking. I remember when I was young, me and my brother, we saw a rainbow. We tried to find the pot. My mom and dad encouraged, go look for it. We had a great little adventure. We couldn't find it, though. You're welcome, sir. Glad about the experience. Thank you for providing a space for your fellow men. We're here to help each other. That is why we're here. The 1% still know to use the same courthouse, and they know where it is. Yes, they still have a female brain. Guys, whatever's going on with your life and whatever the struggle is, don't resort to drinking and smoking weed. I see too many guys turn into drunks and potheads because it's easy. It's easy to numb yourself. Hammer had a field day on Knowles and Purley. I completely agree. It sucked for men. I think I saw that. I saw part of it. I still need to watch it. It sucked for men too. Weird stuff happened with the men in the showers. Oh, geez. The manosphere should stop complaining and start. Well, there are people that provide solutions. I mean, you can go read Corey Wayne's book. But again, if you haven't been in a marriage or divorce or had kids or been through the court system, it's hard to understand that. It was great advice from John. Absolutely. I found a pot of gold, peace, quiet, and freedom. There you go. JC found the end of the rainbow. My Irish neighbor told us to find the end of the rainbow to go get a box of Lucky Charms. TV dinner did it in. I say that issuing women welfare both during and after World War. I think at the beginning, and those are good points, man. I think in the beginning, women used to dress up. They used to prepare an elegant dinner for their man coming home. It was a 5-course dinner. They were made up. They were classy, feminine. But when men started preferring, oh wow, TV dinner is a new thing. Women saw, wow, shit, I don't have to, for 4 to 5 hours, go buy the food, cook the food, prepare the food for him to come home. What am I going to do with those 4 to 5 hours? Well, the brain begins to think. Somewhere over the rainbow, says Rev. Most men need to worship a woman to get motivated about life. Well said, Peter. No amount of vetting a woman will help you when they change. I was with mine for 8 years before we got married, and now 16 years wasted. Yeah. If I knew what I knew today. In today's world, you're not dealing with a woman alone. You're not just dealing with her friend. You're dealing with her girlfriends and multimedia. You're dealing with the feminist hive mind. You're dealing with an army of people that hate you. Well said, Mr. Stephen. Or Saint. Well said, Saint. There was a time when females were bought and sold. Now men spend their entire life serving women. And what is the reward for men other than more servitude? Well said, one mighty. CJ, if you find that 1% still means you're effing gay. All those women on different monthly cycles resulted in moon swing nonsense all the time. Another thing, yeah, Lisa, another thing, birth control. TV dinners, birth control, the 60s movement, the hippie movement, the no-fault divorce in 1969. Great advice, sir. We should not depend on drugs and chemicals to survive in life. Absolutely. John Boston, everyone reacts differently to alcohol and pot. It's important, even if you disagree with someone's viewpoint, to understand and take it into consideration. It helps you straighten your view and have a full understanding of everything. Yeah, I mean, all of our lives are different, right? We've all been through different challenges, circumstances. One's life will never be the same as the other, but we can all agree on something. Peace, quiet, and freedom is what we want in life. That's what we wanted when we got married or had a girlfriend or what have you. We wanted peace, quiet, freedom. How'd that work out? So one must sacrifice a programmed narrative to find a pot of gold at the end of the rainbow. Working class men read a lot, know and understand who is using you. I did so. What's wrong with you? Johnny Leiden. Going PIL. Blue pill programming basically says that one believes more in the fantasy than the reality. I choose to believe more in the reality than the fantasy because I've been through it. Women don't change, the mask slips. They don't. A lot of people don't. Most people do not change. We might become better. We might understand things more, but most people don't change. Be a real man and step up or else. Yes, you're the dad that stepped up. Birth control and welfare system was the kids of death for the American family. Well said, Timothy. My plan for a brighter future, learn as many languages as possible. Get in shape. Good for you. Lisa says, their ego smelled almost as bad as we did right after PT. Jason Casca in the chat. I don't want to read that, but again, it comes down to strong versus weak. Crony capitalism also behind it. They needed more slaves and cheaper. They found women whom they could manipulate. Now women make more pride slaving in cubicles and helping to raise the family. Couldn't agree more, Betty. The problem with Corey, and I've read his book. He talks about how he's kind of a Rollo Tomasi type. But again, he's pushing relationships, which is fine if you want to get in a relationship. Look, I'm not saying not to. I don't recommend it. It's setting yourself up for failure. The modern day woman is mental, guys. You have to understand that. The programming is too deep, especially Gen Z, even millennials, Gen X. A lot of women in my age group, they're whacked. Marijuana is a legal industry in my state. It's my job. I'm completely self-sufficient. I'm not out hurting anyone. In my opinion, almost most red pill men are actually purple pill. Yeah. A leopard spots never changes, says Mountain Monk. Well said. Why did you delete your first channel? Violin Paladin. I didn't delete it. YouTube did. I tried to get it back. They deleted it. Barack Bunnies, glad I cycled out of the service. Good to have you, Violin. I'm going to cut it off here, guys, because I want to go out and do something. Take them out of the kitchen so they can be brainwashed into tax servitude. Well said, Slam. That's hilarious. The best thing about the military woman was that women are physically fit, are very attractive. I was dependent on prawn. Now I'm free as if I'm smarter all of a sudden. Good for you. You got better. Our world revolves around the exaltation of females because females birth children. However, females do nothing to have the child. Called cells from the child, men toil for life serving the divine mother. My ex would say that all the time, that she was the one that those were actually her kids because she carried them. Corey's just selling books and seminars. But there's a market for, there's still guys that want to get married and have kids. There's no such thing as purple pill. That's a fantasy, says Sam. Well said, brother. Also, don't forget that society taught women to use sex, kids, living with her ass, and marriage as a weapon to negotiate. Yeah. Women know how to use and manipulate men. They're very clever. How to speak to them, how they charm men, how they touch men, how they smile at men, how they use their body. We fall for it all the time. It's good to see everybody here. Just remember, the red pill is a philosophy where one seeks peace, quiet, and freedom. That's it. Be the captain of your plane. Let the people shame and scold others for living this way. It just affects their freedom, or it just threatens their freedom. A lot of women are insane in general. You're absolutely right. Bring back chivalry. But a lot of men, on the flip side, there's a lot of young men today that are wimpy, weak, emotionally. Their testosterone is the same levels as 80-year-olds. We need strong men back. Strong men are on purpose. Strong men don't put up with shit. But most men put up with so much shit today with ladies that no wonder the world is where it's at. Good to have everybody on, and appreciate all your comments. We might not agree on everything, but we can agree on one thing, that peace, quiet, and freedom is our ultimate end goal. And if we can live that as much as possible through the end of our days, we are happy. Women, Lululemon had a fall in earnings. You see, you know what irritates me, John? These men that wear it at the gym. It's a woman's brand. Gotcha, Darius. Gotcha. Men do not devalue themselves. Men, do not devalue yourself in order to elevate and serve females just to get sex. Yeah, we do. We have devalued ourselves. Red pill means to me, understanding that women are not sugar, spice, and everything nice. Women are humans with effed up problems too. They use the toilet the same way we do, bros. Chivalry is a code of conduct between warriors and has nothing to do with women. Well said. My name is Mud. I just read that. Guys, it's been a great stream. Go out and have fun. Remember, peace, quiet, and freedom. Rebel against defeat. Chase excellence, masculinity, and men first. I'm out.